You guys have been asking me to make this video forever, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys and doing the full wheel unveil for my WRX. I did put some wheels on the WRX. I know I showed them to you guys before, but I didn't show them to you on the WRX itself. And the reason it's taken me so long is, as you can see, there's snow everywhere, and in the Boston area we get so much salt on the road. I swear, like, you can actually see the road is just super salty, so I haven't been able to film them. And I actually, if you can tell, I'll show you in a second, I've actually washed the wheels, and we're just right outside where I was parking my car, because I can't even drive to somewhere enticing to take B-roll for you guys. With that said, we're gonna do an in-depth wheel review here. It's not gonna be about the performance characteristics of the wheel, but I'm gonna show you basically everything you need to know about the aesthetics. I think one of the important things about wheels, especially on the WRX platform, is every content creator just shows B-roll. I'm not even entirely sure yet if I'm gonna film B-roll, just because of the condition of the wheels with the salt. With that said though, I'm gonna show you guys the important aesthetic pieces that are important for wheels on this car, because wheels are one of those things that unless you buy many wheels over your lifespan, you can't really know what you're buying. And that's just part of the game of wheels. You can be as informed as you need to be, but you don't really understand it without having bought a lot of wheels for one car platform. So I'm gonna show you the little pieces, and probably the most important aesthetic piece that everyone on the market who buys aftermarket wheels for their WRX, regardless of the year, they regret this little piece because they didn't know about it. So I'm gonna show you guys while revealing the wheels, and we'll take a look at those aspects. So this should be a super interesting video actually, and you'll get a really good idea of what the Avid wheels, because I went with Avid AV-20s on my VBWRX, what they look like on this platform. And let's flip the camera around and I will show you guys right now. All right, so as you can tell, it's an extremely snowy, and well, it's not super snowy, but there's a lot of salt in the ground. Obviously we're gonna get a quick view here, guys. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna adjust my ISO here so it brightens the car a little bit so you guys can see. Remember, these are the matte black 18 by 9.5 wheels. This is what they look like. And we're gonna do a close look right now. Let's jump over to the front wheel here, because this was the one that I cleaned the most here. And there we go. So it's a matte black wheel. It matches the fenders. I was, between going gloss or matte, and I really thought that the matte did the best. Obviously, you guys know there's a big arch gap, wheel gap, but that will be solved eventually. This is what they look like in the profile view. Obviously, again, my ISO is up. I can show you what it looks like a little bit more when I drop my ISO. So this is more of what you actually see. So they're very low profile, right? This is like the actual color temp and brightness outside. So they're very low profile. As you can tell, I'm just doing this so you can see the actual wheels and have them extenuated. But there they are. And a few of the important things with this car, and we'll kind of take a step back so you guys can see it from far away, is I went with the matte black because I wanted to kind of match the fender flares, which I think I'm going to keep in the long run. But look at how much of a difference it makes just in the overall car and the profile of the car. Obviously, I need to tint the windows and do a few other things. Let's get right into that thing that I was talking about at the beginning, which is the biggest regret that WRX owners have when they buy wheels. And we're going to look at it from two different views. So the most important view here, and this is actually a combination of the wheel width and the offset. So if you are looking at this profile of the car right here, as we're looking at it right now, the stock wheels sit really far into the fender arches. And because of that, wheel spacers are very common. Wheel spacers themselves, not entirely great for long-term use, but they get the job done. What you can actually do is just buy wheels that do that anyways, and they fit the car better, they drive better, they have better driving performance. But look at what they do. Look at the poke that I'm getting with those wheels. They don't just fill my arches, they poke out. Do you see that profile right there? Let's zoom in for a second. Look at that profile. That right there is exactly what you want in a set of wheels. And I have to say, that's one of the bigger regrets people have, or I hear when they regret pieces of wheel purchases, is they regret losing that aspect. They regret losing that poke right there in the wheel. And I will say, it makes a big difference. Like, if we step back, it really gives profile to the wheels, right? It really gives profile. Like, look at that right there. You get profile, and as your vision turns, you get some of the deep concavity of the arch and the spokes. I really like the way that it looks. It really adds to the car. Again, from the rear of the car, you can see a little poke. Normally, these sit really far in. You see a little poke, but the second you come around a little bit, you get the full depth of those wheels coming out of the wheel arch, the full concavity of the spokes there on the actual wheels themselves. And that is what a good fitting wheel looks like. Obviously, again, we have some wheel grip, we need to drop the car, but that is the most important piece when you're looking at a set of wheels on a WRX. Look at how substantial that is. I will say, I'm so glad I went with these. Honestly, now that I've had the gloss black, or now that I've had the matte black, I should say, I don't know if I'm gonna go gold. I'm tinting the windows, and one of the reasons I'm making this video and not taking my time and finding the right setup and doing the right thing by doing the right B-roll in a beautiful area is I have so many other modifications that need to go in this car, and you're gonna see the wheels anyways. So that is the reason. But this is a quick unveil. What we're doing for the rest of the car is we're actually gonna be tinting the windows, rain guards, a bunch of interior carbon fiber actually, new potential lip, an additional roof splitter, and a new actual duckbill, all coming out of the car in the next 3 weeks. As well as we're gonna try out a few other things with some of the tint pieces. Thanks for watching the video. I will actually run a blooper just shortly right now to show you guys what it looks like with all the salt and the reason why it's been so hard to film the video. So if you wanna see that, just stick along for a few more minutes here. Not even a few minutes, like 10 seconds. But otherwise, guys, we got tons of mods coming to the channel, tons of like actual super informational videos coming to the channel. It's been a little hard because of the winter and the weather and the temperature. I can do the temperature. It's wet, cold, and icy right now. So we got lots coming to the channel. Stay tuned and more to come. I'll see you guys in a second when I show you guys the wheels. Talk to you then. And if you guys want a little bit of a blooper reel of what my car looks like on a day-to-day right now, this is driving like 100 feet. This is up and down the road. This is what I was talking about, how it's so hard to show you guys the wheels because this is what they look like at any given time because we have so much salt on the road. You guys can see all this salt. So they look horrendous most of the time in the winter. So hence why we're doing it right here. It just doesn't look pretty.